The Law of Oneness, and why you showing up positively influences every single human you come into contact with. Hey, it's Heather Chauvin, wife, mother of 3 boys, former social worker, breadwinner, recovering hustler, and stage 4 cancer survivor. I'm not a fan of that term, by the way. Beyond all of these titles and labels, I'm a human being, just like you, attempting to navigate it all while feeling good. My goal on this podcast is to show you that you can live an energized, sustainable life, both at home and in your work. It doesn't matter if you stay at home full-time, if you work from home, you're a CEO, a successful business owner, or trying to find some inspiration. On this show, I attempt to keep it real with stories, interviews, and random thoughts. This is not a business or career podcast, and it's not a parenting podcast. It's both and so much more. You will laugh. You may even cry, and you may even get a little frustrated with the truth you've been hiding from yourself. I believe all human behavior is a language, whether it's through your child's behavior, your health, or a relationship. And when we learn to listen instead of react, we begin to understand what it truly means to feel alive and in control. It's time to put your big girl pants on and find your brave. Let's go. Okay, I am back and ready to take on the new year. It's coming. Are you ready? So I was reflecting back, creating some content for the weeks to come. The layout and format of the podcast is going to shift a little in 2020. But for the rest of 2019 and leading into 2020, I wanted to go back and review the 12 universal laws. I did this actually a year ago in December, and it was a huge hit, and I was getting so much feedback on it that I was going to go back and I was going to repurpose those episodes. But then I thought, I've changed so much since these episodes first aired. And I also wanted to put a different spin on it. I wanted to feature one of the different laws every day, and we might skip a day here or there to feature something else. But I wanted to progressively talk about every universal law. Because too often we jump into this personal development space and we're thinking about how we can change and how we can evolve and all these things, and we read these books, but we forget how our energy on a daily basis, practically, from a practical perspective, affects every human that we come into contact with. And so the Law of Oneness talks about that we are all connected to one source. So it doesn't matter if you believe in God or whatever your belief system is. I like to say the divine or universe. There is something bigger at play here. And I attract a lot of people who are very open and non-denominational, that there is this spiritual side of us, the side that we need to choose. The beliefs that we need to construct that feel in alignment with who we are. So, for the Law of Oneness, knowing that we are all connected to one source, and that everything that we do affects the collective consciousness of the entire universe. And this is why when we contribute to others and in some way make their lives better, it gives us the highest joy. And so while I was doing my research on the Law of Oneness, I was thinking about ourselves and how too often we buy into this belief that give, right? We are in the season of giving. But this year I decided, how do I want to feel? I've been saying this to myself for the last 6+ years. How do I want to feel going into this season? How do I want to feel going into this season? And all of the work that I do throughout the year that gets me to this season is the compound effect. So I can jump into a new season not being affected, not being hurt as much. We all have moments, right? We are triggered, we're human. but seeing these lessons as opportunity for growth, not as a negative thing. And so knowing that all the contributions that I have made to myself and others throughout the year allows me to give more in a bigger way. So one of the questions that I ask myself during the holiday season is, how do I want to give back? Because it's easy to write a check. It's easy to donate, but I like to be in the action. I like to be front lines. It could be my social work background. I don't know what it is. So this year I decided to volunteer when on Christmas Eve, giving back during a dinner, feeding the homeless. And by the way, we need to figure out a new way to call these people. They're not homeless. Like, we don't need to label this as homeless. So just underprivileged individuals in my local community. And I went to the local coffee shop and I got a whole bunch of $2 gift cards and just started handing them out to people and just talking to them. They had many, many volunteers who were cooking and serving. And I thought, if I can't give anything, the least I can do is give my presence. Because too often we're thinking, we can't, we don't have enough. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough energy. I don't have enough money. But when you shift your thinking and you realize that all the contribution that you are making to yourself and others is making a bigger impact to the collective consciousness. Hey, I'm interrupting today's podcast to remind you to head on over to Heather Chauvin, spelled CHAUVIN.com/alive. The Alive 2020 experience is happening in Detroit, Michigan, February 6th and or 7th. Our VIP second day tickets are almost sold out, so don't wait. It's an intimate experience for ambitious women who are ready. Are you ready for this? To feel alive while they're still living. So, if you want to create more capacity, if you want to start getting out of your own way, if you want to take bigger risks, and you think you're ready for the Alive experience, then head on over to heatherchauvin.com/alive. And if you still have questions, go to that page at the bottom. There's a little intake form. You can put your name, your email address, and ask your question. It goes directly to my inbox, and I will respond personally. You are not alone. But in order to create the life that you want, whether it's at home or at work, you need to decide to take back control and take that risk and get outside your comfort zone. I look forward to seeing you there. heatherchauvin.com/alive. Tickets go up on January 15th. Get yours now. So traditionally, we know this. You know that donating, volunteering, all of these things are helping other people. But I'm going to challenge you to think about yourself first. I remember post-cancer, when I was kind of going through my recovery phase and really building myself from the ground up, one of my challenges was to say no to everything. And I think I even podcast about this way back. I have no idea what episode it was. I stopped giving to charities and I stopped volunteering for everything because I could not distinguish where I started and where someone else began. Meaning, I would say yes, yes, yes to everything. And it was like the slightest little thing. It could be, oh, would you like to donate $1 to the Love of Reading Foundation at the grocery store? Would you like to donate $1 here? Would you like to donate $1 here? Hey, Heather, do you mind doing this for me? Hey, can I borrow a cup of milk? I mean, that's a little bit different. Of course, here's a cup of milk, here's a cup of sugar. But I was noticing all of these moments where I was giving. I was giving to other people, right? These little plugs. And yes, I could afford the $1. But I had to stop. I kind of had to go on a giving detox. And I thought, okay, the reason why I am stopping and going on this giving detox is because I need to learn how to give to myself first. The Law of Oneness. We are all connected to one source, and everything that we do affects the collective consciousness of the entire universe. So by me saying no thank you. By me saying, Heather, you are going to hold a boundary. Let's try it for 30 days. This is years back. 30 days. You're going to say, no, thank you. I do not have the capacity for that. To every single person that requires something outside of your contracted, give and take. I said, I can't. I just can't right now. Thank you so much for thinking of me. I can't. Heather, would you like to donate $1? No, thank you. Hey, would you be able to come over and help me with this? I just don't have the capacity for that right now. Because the one person that I continuously let down and forgot to give to was myself. And I think this is a huge part of where people get mixed messages when it comes from the law of oneness. Because when I decided to take that 30-day hiatus from give, what I noticed was because everything is connected, the opportunities coming back to me were there, and I was more open to receiving them. And although I didn't require much from people at that time, what I noticed was that a lot of the people that I was giving to, chronically giving to, did not reciprocate the receiving. So every time we're putting something out into the universe and we're saying, here you go, here you go, here you go, what we are taught and told and brainwashed to believe is that when we give, we also receive, which is true. But what we don't remember is we also need to be one of the people that we give to. I think that needs to be number one. So for the sake of today and the law of oneness, we have to remember that everything is connected. And that although we're giving outwardly, we're looking outside of ourselves 99.9% of the time for validation. And you're looking to help other people and doing it actually from a very selfish place because you want a sense of purpose or connection. But what if you're just giving from a sense of abundance, meaning, oh my goodness, I have recharged my batteries. I have learned and discovered how to fill my cup every single day. That my existence, and just by the way I show up every single day, that is the law of oneness, where everything is connected. My generosity through my smiles, my generosity through my energy, my generosity through my vitality, by showing up and being present and working on my emotions so I'm not projecting my anger onto other people, that is the law of oneness. And so I invite you to realize that give to everybody else but yourself is actually, one, counterintuitive. I understand that. But it's doing that person that you're giving to a disservice. Because imagine being able, instead of $1, you can give $10,000, and that's nothing for you. Imagine going to donate your time in a shelter and being all there, present, being able to buy everybody a new winter coat or meals for a year, or get somebody the help that they truly need, but they just don't have access to the resource. The law of oneness starts with ourselves. We are all connected. Our bodies, our minds, our souls are connected to something bigger. Everything that we do on a daily basis affects the collective consciousness of the entire universe. And that starts when we contribute to ourselves. I am living proof that you can feel alive while you're raising a family, while you're going for it in your career, in your partnerships, in your relationships, your money, your time, and your health. But I will tell you, It doesn't matter how much you put out there into the universe and plead and ask for it to come back to you. You have to be the initiator of that. You have to be the person to say, I need to give back to myself. Nobody is going to give you that time, that space, that energy to do so. The law of oneness, remembering that every action that you take affects the greater consciousness. According to a study published on Fast Company, conducted at the University of Kansas, women are burning out at an alarming rate, even before having children. And that number rises with the additional responsibility of raising a family. And the gap between ambition and putting themselves in a position for promotion isn't going anywhere. Why, you ask? The world needs more empowered mothers, women who are willing to unlearn everything that they've been taught, women who are courageous enough to feel good and not feel guilty for it. I am living proof that you can feel alive, energized, peaceful, and put yourself on your own damn to-do list and make an even bigger impact in your children's lives and those around you. I want to show you how to think, how to act, how to behave, so you can step into that version of you that has been screaming for your attention. And the best part is, all you have to do is take the next step and invest 2 minutes of your time and book a complimentary call with someone on my team to see if my community and coaching is the right fit for your big vision. The relationships you desire, the money, time, and energy that you know deep down you are capable of creating. So head on over to heatherchauvin.com/let's talk. That's Heather Chauvin, CHAUVIN.com/let's talk. LETSTALK. And take the next step in the right direction. You are here because you were born to make a difference. Taking a stand for how you feel means you are taking a stand for how your children show up as adults. You've got this. Let's go.